welcome to another episode on the Paradigm Shift Show. I am your host, Natha. I'm an entrepreneur, a strategist, and someone who is always looking for new ways to challenge the way we think and work. The Paradigm Shift Show is all about breaking old patterns, questioning the status quo, and discovering new ways to grow both in business and in life. And today I am not doing it alone. I have my co-host in the person of Miles. Hey Miles, how you doing?
Fine, Natha. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting episode on the Paradigm Shift, where we'll be diving into exciting topics that challenge the status quo. Once again, I'm Miles, your co-host.
And today we have a special guest in the person of Mercy Macjoe. Mercy Macjoe, is such an honor to have you here. So Mercy Macjoe is an actress, a beautiful one at that. She's a producer and a serial entrepreneur. She is defining the landscape of entertainment and innovation in Africa. It's such an honor to have you on the Paradigm Shift Show today, Mercy.
Thank you. Well, it is an honor to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
It's our pleasure, ma'am.
Well, today we're happy to have you here with us in the studio, Ma. Now, today we'll be delving into today's topic, which says how entertainment can be a tool for intellectual and economic progress in Africa. So, Ma, I want to ask you a question. How can the entertainment industry really leverage to promote intellectual growth and innovation in Africa? Like, what do you think?
What do I think? Well, I think a lot of things.
Okay, let's hear.
Well, I would say we're already doing that because entertainment right now it is the shift. It is what it is now, especially with the entertainment online, the movies on YouTube, the skits,
Yeah.
the reels, and so many short videos, the youth are doing right now. So I feel like that's an innovation, and that's what is happening right now, and that's the reality. And honestly, I think that's a shift from what it was before. Before it was just cinemas,
Right.
you have to buy CDs,
Right.
you have to borrow CDs,
Right. And then if you
But
can't
now,
afford it, watch.
so
Yeah.
now, everything has innovated over the years. Now you can just be in your house and, watch movies.
Yes.
You can stream films. There are lots of platforms where you can watch films. So I think that is what it is now, and I'm very happy to be here for that, if that answers your question.
Well, it
Kind
is-
of, right?
justice to a great
Okay.
Great. So another question that has been lingering in my head is kind of a little deeper,
hmm
but forgive me to say this. A lot of videos that we see online these days come up with so much explicit content, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
And as a mother, it tends to bother me that children get to be exposed to this kind of
Content.
content
Yeah.
often. Do you think that all that helps to promote intellectual growth in children or youths and adults generally, or do you think something should be done to curb that kind of exposure for children?
Yes, that is definitely a worry, but I would also like to state that it's not just in Nigeria, it's not just in Africa, it's a world thing. Everything is moving so fast, and just like you mentioned, probably before there were no such so much content that has nudity, but now there is, and I think the reason is one of the reasons are the fact that the consumer wants this kind of content, unfortunately.
Okay.
So the
Right.
consumer seem to like this pattern, and then for some people, especially in this part of the world, people just want to survive. You see movies that very good films that you can learn a thing or two from. They don't get as recognized as the movie where some girls are
Yes.
dancing and
Yes.
stuff.
I see.
So the consumer has a role to play. And I would also like to mention, it's not just a Nigerian thing, like I said earlier, it's a global thing. It's just that we, Nigerians, we are not used to this. Our culture,
Okay.
our background, This is not something that we're used to. Let's say, for example, now the Western world, they have also shift in their media. They have,
Right.
their content, their movies are far developed, far, different from what you might want your kids to watch,
Right.
but they accept it because it's a free world out there, but it's not like that in Nigeria. So in terms of what can be done, oh, there's a whole lot of things that can be done, yes.
Okay.
And then we can start by saying the government can actually have a role in this. For example, let me take Hollywood. The entertainment industry is very big, and the government has several roles to play in it. I think what is happening right now is everybody is a producer in Nigeria. Everybody is a content creator. Everybody is doing one thing or the other. You meet 5, 6 people out of 10, and they're like, "Oh, I'm a content creator. I do content. I post on YouTube." Because they're just trying to survive, they probably graduated and no jobs. Even if they have jobs, it's not probably paying their bills. And then there's some other person that is making content and is living big and living large. So everybody wants to do it. If you go to school and you graduate from school, you get a good job, you won't be thinking about creating content that people are
Certainly.
dancing up and down.
Certainly.
Yeah, so first we have to know that we have a problem about the job being available and then we also have to acknowledge the fact that people just want to survive in Nigeria.
Right.
It's so hard in here that people just want to do anything to survive. And then let's come to the consumer. Nigeria is hard. People want to relieve themselves. People want something to make them laugh. People want something to... You think they don't know that this kind of content is not good?
It's not healthy.
Oh, they know
Right.
that it's not healthy, but, they just want to relieve. They just want to have fun. They just want to watch something, So I feel like in terms of something that can be done, if the government can put in place and say, okay, let's use this for example. If there's a grant and to content creator, okay, you want to make films or you want to make content or you want to be a skit makers or you want to do anything, okay, we'll give you a particular grant, we'll give you money to produce this, and now we can tell you the kind of content that you can make.
That you can make. So they,
Yes.
understand.
Exactly. We can
Right.
tell you the kind of content we want you to create, content that, highlight the positive aspect of Nigeria or what we want children to watch. But if they don't care, I'm coming with my own money, I would choose what I want to do with my money. It's
No
my
regulations
exactly.
whatsoever.
It's my money. I choose to do what content I choose to do. So there's just it's a very broad conversation, and then it goes all around about our living and the standard of which Nigeria is at the moment.
Right. So let me chip in something. Do you think that parents too have a role to play in protecting children from this?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, right from time, you should definitely have a parental control on what your kids view or consume. In this case, especially with the kind of content they're doing now, you can't just hand over a pad to a child and just allow them. Yeah, you need to sensitize the kind of content they watch, the kind of the content they consume. So definitely, parents have a role to play.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's great. So, from what you said, I want to ask, like, how do you think entertainers can use their influence to shift the youth culture from positive consumption to active learning and problem solving?
Well, it's still by creating content. It's
Okay.
it's still by creating content. How will you know about some certain things if it's not televised?
Yeah.
So if you, just like I mentioned earlier, if there are grants, if there are funds from the government or from some institute that the government has put in place to give some young people that want to pursue filmmaking or content creation, they can, tell them the kind of things they want the money to be put in place. And I think that will give, the content creator or the filmmakers some responsibility on what to put out there. Take for example, in America, if you haven't traveled outside, an average young person in Nigeria feels like, oh, America is all that,
Right.
And if America is like that's because of what they make us see. That's because of what we consume. Growing up, I always thought America is like a big deal. A lot of us thought,
Right.
But then when you go to the country, you see that, oh, they do have some parts that they don't show us, just like every country has,
Right.
but then they promote the positivity of the country. They want you to see the country in some certain light.
Light,
And I
right.
think it has something to do with the government on how they want the outside world to see.
Right.
So if the government is involved with entertainment, if the government is involved with the innovation of what it is right now, content creating, I think they can show the country in a good light, and there'll be more opportunities for young people that are pursuing film as a career.
That was a very deep rendition, right?
Yeah.
That was a very deep rendition, really. Okay, so I have a question, a personal one now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you have been in the industry for quite some time, the movie
Yes.
industry precisely.
Yes.
Right. So what would you say your challenges were as an upcoming actress? What were your challenges and how were you able to go through those challenges? And why I ask this question is to help these youngsters who are aspiring to be great actresses and actors out there, to help them be able to navigate the challenges that you were able to come through. So how did you navigate?
Well, I will take myself for example. What it was when I started is totally different from what it is now. As a matter of fact, right now, if you want to be an actress, it's very easy for you. You can just, put on a camera and start acting, or you can do one or two skits and people know you from there. It's easier now. But back then when I started, it was tough. You have to go to auditions, you have to severally try to prove that you're good, looking for an opportunity to put yourself out there. That's what it was then. So I feel if the school, for example, if our educational sector, if they take art and craft very seriously in school, and when you graduate, you know for a fact that, okay, you have a particular fund that you can, pursue, just goes back to what I said earlier. And, you don't have to come out and start all over. Once you do acting school, you can come out, graduate, and then take it from there. That's how they do in America. That's how they do in Hollywood. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to go to college, like a proper university. If you want to do film, you go to a film school. You go to a film school if this is sure what you want to do. Right. You go to a film school. When you come out, you're already a graduate of filmmaking. You already have an idea of a thing or two on what film is about. So you're not like a freshman that is just thrown out there. You know what you're doing. All you're looking for now is, okay, how to put this in place. Right. It's easier there.
But in the absence of that, how do they navigate? In the absence of this
well, that's what they're doing now. They put a camera in front of them and then they act. Yeah, because if you look, most of the films now that they're doing on YouTube is you see more of skit makers. You see more of people that went viral. You see more people, people that went viral on their own. You see people that do a lot of stuff on their own, and these are the people they are calling to do movies now, because they are doing it on their own. They are making themselves famous on their own. So the work is on us as a Nigerian. So you either put yourself out there or you leave it.
So you gotta do the work.
You gotta do the work.
You don't even have a choice.
Exactly.
Because those days it was audition.
Audition.
So
oh yeah,
now,
I used to.
Producers like yourself, you're looking out for talent, and then you see you're scrolling through TikTok and you see.
As a matter of fact,
I
do encourage some people that wants to start. You should do like a monologue.
Oh, nice.
Put on your page. If I were to do like an audition, it's very hard to gather people like they used to do before. Right. They just say, okay, send me a clip of what you can do. Do several emotions. Let me see, what if you can act. These are the ways they do it now. But then, no, you have to queue to an audition. You go sweat. Hey. You have to track. You have to act. You have to see you. It was a lot.
Wow. Okay, so sorry, I have so many questions for you, but I'm just trying to put the words there. Okay, so right now we see a lot of youths, just living life without direction. It's pathetic. It's sad to see people who just don't know the path to take, right? I believe that back in the days, I think it was easier, like you said. I don't know if things got to change by, virtue of back in the days when you're done from school, you already know you have a job, and
Mhm.
right now it's not
It's not. Mhm.
anymore. So when you see youngsters who don't have direction, who don't even know their left from their right, just moving through life, what would you say that the entertainment industry in particular, because that's the topic we're dealing on now,
Mhm.
what would the entertainment industry be able to do or bring out from these people to give them a better direction on how to course through life?
Honestly, it is what it is right now. Yeah, just like you mentioned, there's a lot of shallow young people right now. With, they're just trying to navigate life, and they don't even know what to do. So it is what it is now, and I don't think it's just Nigeria. I think it's a global thing,
Of
you know,
course.
because you see people all over social media, in different parts of the world, and then you're like, what are you doing? You know, so I don't know what it is, and I don't think the content is part of it. I don't know what it is, but I do know that, just like I mentioned, the consumer is what is driving this particular set of content that you think is influencing the Gen Z, as they call it.
Yes, the Gen Zs. Oh, we're coming from the Gen Zs. Okay.
So I don't know. I just think people just don't care anymore. You know, these people, these kids, this Gen Z, they just want to leave it. It's all about survival right now. Nobody just think about, oh, okay, because there's some content I see on social media, and I was like, this person don't get family.
I know, right?
Like, you don't get brother.
I know,
Like, what are you
right?
doing? You know, so they don't care. It's like, oh, they just want to leave. They just want to survive. If they don't, it is what it is. So somehow you will say there's no provision from the government, just like, it goes back to what I said earlier. And then you might also say it's just we're living in a world where at this point now it's just free, you know. It's
That's it.
just, it's
That's
just
it. I
free.
think
Everybody.
families really need to play a better role in setting this case
I
right,
would say
you know?
that too.
Because I mean, how do you have children and you just let them grow?
You just let them,
There's
those,
no
yeah,
discipline.
there's no discipline, and some of them don't even care, even if there's discipline, because you cannot outrightly say the parent, because some parents actually do a good job raising their
Right.
children.
Of course.
They just decide to be like, I beg, I no send, and then sometimes, yeah, you say it's from the family, but what I do know that this set of, people, they just don't care. Because when you talk to some of them, they are not thinking that deep as they're supposed to.
Course, it's
It's just very shallow. It's on the
right.
top. There's no future. They just want to live in the moment because Mr. A is probably doing it and making money, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, this person that went to school, this person that is doing this person doesn't have money.
Yeah.
Take for they see some of our service, service people, the elderly people that have served the country, people that have done so well for the country. They have nothing to write home about. They're probably struggling,
Very
and
sad.
then very sad. And then they see this young person that is all over the place, but they have money, and then they're doing well. So they don't think that deep. They just want it
Right.
as it is now.
Right.
It's like survivor of the of the fittest right now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So it's quite unfortunate. I feel like if the government encourages good behavior, if the government puts in place some kind of compensation, some honor for good behavior, maybe there might be a shift in the society. Like, yeah, because the other day I saw on social media of a young boy that graduated with so many, with first class,
Okay.
and then somebody wrote in the comments, say, this one, no, they go viral, nobody go post this boy,
Nobody will
oh.
post
But if it's somebody,
it.
they dance now, but which is the reality?
That's
It's the
true.
reality. If the government starts encouraging and honoring those people, like if you do well in school, our former service people that have served the country religiously, if they honor them, encourage them, I feel like the youth will see that, okay, there's actually good in doing good. It pays. But then when you see somebody that served the country several years ago, you see our policemen, you see our sports people that did so well back then, and then they're struggling, they're begging for money, and then there's one person that is posting anyhow, and the person is buying houses and cars. So how do you want it to shift if they don't see it?
Right.
Yeah, you say legend in Western world. If you're a legend, you're a legend.
Right.
Your name and what you've done, stays, and then the government compensates you, encourages you.
Yes.
You get what you deserve.
Right.
But that's not what it is here.
No, that's not.
So,
We
so
have
you
a
say,
long way to go.
oh yeah, we do have a long way to go, and it starts from the top. Yeah, it does.
Some people would say, I beg to differ. I would say it starts from the ground roots. I mean, of course.
Well,
of course,
when you say ground roots, what do you mean by that?
family,
Okay.
yes.
Individual family.
Individual, yes. It starts from your
I
home.
would say it starts from the provision from the government.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to disagree then.
Well, that's okay.
Okay, let's go, so.
Mom, sorry. Initially, you said something about not being the fault of the content, but the consumer. So I want to ask, if the content is like, if good contents are being put out there, do you think we'll still be having like a lot of people being influenced by the bad content?
You think good contents are not put out there?
No,
There are good content put out there.
Yeah.
As in,
If
yeah,
more
they
of,
are.
if more of it is being put out there, and the way the consumers or the consumers are consuming more of the good content, do you think we'll still be having like the results we're having right now?
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are good contents being produced.
Yes.
There are a few people, a good amount of people that bring out good content. But how many of them do you see?
Consume,
How many of them
right.
do you consume? How many of the good content? How many people still, read books? How many people still watch films and in hopes to get something out of it?
Documentaries
How many people do that?
and,
So they have, but they are not encouraged.
Yes.
So if you're taking your time, you're investing your time, your resources in this part of the world where you have to do it yourself, if you're putting that much money to create content and then it's not being consumed, you'll be discouraged.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So, there are content out there. It's just not as popular as the one we see that goes viral every day.
Bum shaking and all that.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So how do you think entertainment can counteract inferiority complex?
Well, in terms of, you're talking about in personal growth.
Yes, personal growth, because this is the thing. I think with low self-esteem and inferiority complex comes a lot of peer pressure that tends to push our youths into the negatives. So now talking about shifting from all that negativity, how do you think that the entertainment industry can counteract inferiority complex?
Okay, I will agree with you back on the other parts you agreed and I disagreed.
Okay.
Now it has to do with the parental
Yay.
upbringing.
Okay.
Because honestly, should I tell you, sometimes when I see some posts on social media, I'm like, hi, how do these young people keep up with this? This is a lot. You see a young girl, she's like, oh, I just bought a house, or I just bought this. So that kind of that kind of affects young people. It makes them feel like, oh, maybe I'm not doing as much, maybe I'm not doing enough. And then when you look at this person that is saying, maybe I'm not doing enough, they are just in their early 20s. Some of them, they are so young. You shouldn't even be thinking about buying a house right now. But yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. So I don't think they can do anything with what is on the social media, because it's like it's choking you in the face.
Right.
Sometimes you don't even follow these things; you just see them as long as you're on the internet
them.
space.
Yes,
So I feel like if they have a strong foundation, their upbringing, if they were taught confidence, if they were taught to build their self-esteem, no matter what you see, it shouldn't shaking them.
Right.
Yes. So it also this particular topic now is about upbringing.
Right.
Yeah, because I want to bring up my child in the way, I will let them understand that no matter what you see on social media, you shouldn't let that affect who you are. Everybody has a lane, everybody has a time. As long as you're doing well for yourself, you're still young, you still have a long life ahead of you. Some of them forget their 20s, there are several.
Give yourself time to
Exactly,
grow.
there's
Just be
several
yourself,
years ahead. Take it slow. Okay, maybe this person is doing better now. Maybe this person is doing something. Maybe this person had the opportunity now that you probably have in the future. Just take your time. It's not about race. Everybody's different.
It's a marathon.
So it's, So, yeah, I feel like it has something to do with the upbringing. And I will encourage every parent to, have a deep talk with their children, especially this young, Gen Z, and just tell them
And Gen Alpha, huh?
there is Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha, you
Ooh,
never knew.
okay. No.
Gen Alpha is more, oh my
They
gosh.
think they know everything and
Wow.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
it's.
sorry for cutting you short.
No, you're. I mean, I just learned something now. I didn't even know there was. Wait, what age is from Alpha now?
Honestly, I need help.
You-
with that. But I know that this, I think from...
Gen Z was from 97.
Okay.
97 to I think 2020 something or so.
2020.
Okay, well, good for them.
Yeah,
Good for
I mean,
them.
this generation.
Oh, they. I will give it to them. They are brave.
They are.
Yeah, they are brave.
They're smart.
They are
Very
very
smart.
smart, and
Very smart.
they are just waiting to take life as it is, like no
Right.
time to waste.
Yes.
So I mean, you give it to them. Some of them actually skate through.
Right.
Yeah.
So if there's nothing else I took home from this conversation, this amazing conversation, it will be that parents need to do better.
Oh yeah,
True.
everybody needs to do better.
Yeah.
The government needs to do better.
Government needs to do better. Parents need to do better. Miles, who should do better? Individuals should do better.
I need to do better.
Exactly. So this has been so beautiful.
Yeah, I had fun.
Miles, do you have any more questions?
I think she's wrapped up everything.
Yay.
And a lot of wisdom
Yeah.
pouring
Oh,
out
thank
here.
you.
I took in a
Thank
lot.
you.
I hope you all did too.
I hope so.
Before we draw the curtains, what words would you give to our youths?
Well, I would just say you should believe in yourself. Just it's hard out here, I know. It's difficult, but just keep fighting, especially in this part of the world where you're on your own. Just just keep fighting. Just keep. Don't let anything you see on social media discourage you. Everybody has their time. Just keep doing you. Just try your best. You definitely make it. Definitely.
Oh my
Thank you very
God.
much, ma'am.
I'm even so encouraged.
Oh.
Thank you so much for this insight you've poured out.
Thank
And
you.
that is a wrap for today's episode on the Paradigm Shift Show. We've had
Thank
a
you.
very, very eye-opening episode and conversations on how entertainment can be a catalyst for intellectual and economic progress in Africa as a whole. A huge thank you to you.
Thank you for having me. I had fun.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
And a big shout out to one of our sponsors for today's episode, the CEO of Lapis Lazuli Management Services Limited. Big name. Thank you so much for sponsoring, for being one of the sponsors of this episode.
An incredible show today. If you enjoyed the episode, we'd like you to follow us and like and share for more content. Thank you very much.